What's going on, guys? Smoke Raider. Just got done watching episode 572 of One Piece. We're coming off the last episode where Luffy and Big Mom have their big conversation. Where Luffy basically tells her, I'm going to kick your ass all over the New World, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. And by the way, I'm taking Fishman Island. It's got my Jolly Roger now, bitch. But this episode, we're opening up with Usopp, Chopper, Brook, and the rest of the Straw Hat crew just chilling, drinking some tea. The Minister of the Left gets a report of everything that was stolen out of the treasure thing. He goes through. He's like, yeah, okay. And so he goes, oh, Tamate box. He's like, oh wait, no. We basically find out that this has like explosive devices in it. So if anybody opens it, it'll just blow up. We then go over to Caribou, who's finally waking up after getting his ass kicked by Luffy. And I don't know if Zoro and Sanji kicked his ass too, but they were part of the. They were probably standing there while Luffy was beating his ass up, just like hitting him with some Gomu no action. He finds out that the treasure's gone. He's getting angry. He's like, oh, I'm gonna kill whoever took the treasure. Like, of course you should know who took the treasure. This is probably the same people who beat your ass and knocked you out. The next scene is Jinbei and Neptune. They're having a conversation about the Sun Pirates and how they used to work for Big Mom and what the conditions were. And Jinbei was telling him that basically it wasn't that bad, just because she would basically let them do whatever they wanted to do, and as long as they had their mark, or her Jolly Roger, she was underneath them. And he was basically telling them that in order for one to protect their crew, and this is what I think is happening, to spoiler if you haven't read the manga, to Traffic Law's group, is that he has teamed up with the Yonko to protect his crew. But I also think that some people will take their crew and almost like keep them hostage until something gets done. Like I think Traffic Law had something he had to do, or maybe he has to steal something for someone. I don't think he has his crew locked up by Big Mom. I know that's what's going on right now, or that's what a lot of people are thinking about. But after watching this episode, I'm thinking that his crew is either taken hostage by Kaido or Blackbeard. I don't think it's Blackbeard, but I'm pretty sure it's Kaido, he's basically having his group held hostage by. That's just a theory. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Jinbei and Neptune are basically saying, what's gonna happen once we leave, or what's gonna happen once I disown myself from Big Mom. And Neptune was saying, well, does that mean you've accepted the Mugiwara crew's invitation? And Jinbei's like, yeah, I've made up my mind. And he's basically worried about Fishman Island. He's like, well, what are you guys gonna do? I need to make sure that this area is gonna be safe first before I can go and do anything else. Which, that's part of the reason why Jinbei hasn't joined the crew in the first place, is he has to get his affairs in order before he becomes a full-fledged member, where he's there every day. Neptune tells him he decides to, you know what, I got a Jolly Roger that I like, and it's got a straw hat on it and a big smile. And Jinbei's like, yeah, I like that Jolly Roger too. That's one of my favorite Jolly Rogers all time, hands down. Mugiwara's for life. Fucking Bloods and Crips, Mugiwara's right up there. Bloods, Crips, Mugiwara. Alright? That's how it is. Luffy and his crew get back to tell his crew what's been happening, how he said he's gonna kick Big Mom's ass, and I can't wait to see that when she's spitting her fucking Jabba the Hutt slime all over the place, and like the Gunga Namek when he's and I want to see that move, and she's just gonna be shooting her shit all over the place, and Luffy's gonna be using his hockey, and I don't know, can Luffy beat her by himself? I don't know. Maybe. I think so. I think he could beat him by himself. He has a 400 million bounty right now, and I think that is way too low. I mean, if you think about it, that is before he even had hockey. I mean, it was at 300 million before he went to Impel Down, and then he went to the Marineford, and that's when he first started using Conqueror King's hockey. He used it at In 3 places he used it in, not Sambodi. He used it in the Amazon Lily. He used it in Impel Down. And then the big one was in Marineford when he knocked almost everybody out except, vice admirals, and so forth. That bounty is way too low. I'm thinking Luffy is probably somewhere in the 800 to maybe even 1 billion bounty right now. That is way too low for him, and he deserves more respect, I think, and he will get it. So Luffy's telling his crew about how he's gonna kick Big Mom's ass. Everybody's scared. They're like, "Oh, what do you mean you said that to Big Mom?" Jinbei and Neptune are like, "Oh shit, I can't believe you talked to Big Mom like that." He's like, "Yeah, fuck Big Mom." Everybody's laughing except Neptune, Jinbei, Usopp, Chopper, and Brook. And I was expecting a skull joke or I'm already dead joke from Brook. They were all said, "Oh, we're gonna die. We have no future. Hey, what are you talking about?" And it's funny because I thought Nami would have been scared too because she's usually in that group, but her scaredness was overtaken by her loss of treasure. She hit everybody with like a thunderbolt punch. She looked like Pikachu on Ash, kicking everybody's ass. So they all have bumps all over the face. You would think they would get tired of that, or Zoro would block that shit, but they all just take it. I think Zoro always takes after Luffy. Whatever Luffy does, Zoro's always like copying that. Especially when you had their explanations of what a hero was. Luffy said, "A hero is when you share your meat. I want all the meat." And Zoro was like, well, a hero is someone who shares their sake, and I want all the sake. It's great to see some shit like that from Luffy's right hand man. It was a funny scene where I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the fishermen were putting like this dragon thing back together on the architecture. And when Nami punched Zoro, Luffy, and Sanji, the thing that they put back up there, it fell back down on them. But they were like, "Oh, what the hell?" They're like, "What just happened?" That was so crazy. Nami's got some firepower. She might have hockey. She's got as Garp said it. I don't need hockey to use the fist of love. I don't know what that is. The fist of hate. The fist of lost treasure. So the Mugiwara crew is getting ready to take off. Next scene we see is a bunch of pirate ships floating out of the water, and some Marines are ready to combat them. Next thing you know, we see a big flag. What does it say on it? G5. And damn, I've been waiting for this. Smoker. We have Tashigi coming out with her sword. And it's funny because all of the Marines around her are like oogling over her. They're like, "Oh, Captain Chan!" It makes me can't even wait for Punk Hazard more because, especially when spoilers, if Sanji starts taking him out, oh man, I mean those scenes are hilarious in the manga. I can't wait to see this animated. Oh man, it's hilarious. They end up capturing the pirates that came out, and they're getting interrogated. And it's Smoker. Smoker's just looking at him, and these guys are scared shitless. Oh, they're like, "Oh, it's the white chaser. It's Smoker. Oh no, we're done." He's like, "Don't you know it? Don't you know what they do to people? They're the G5 Marines. They use pirates as kindling for their bonfires." I was like, "Oh, that's like a totally outrageous thing that they think of." I mean, they could be doing that. I don't know, but that seems like some funny shit, Not that burning people alive is funny, but just the concept of the G5 Marines, especially after you've seen them oogling over to Shigi like that, that was pretty hilarious. At the end, the pirates tell Smoker that, we're going to tell you who beat the Hoity Jones and the people down there that were capturing us, and we're just trying to get our way out of here. And they're hesitant at first because they're like, "Oh, I don't know if we want to give you this, or we don't want to sell out our people." It's almost like the mob. They're like, "You don't talk to the cops," or as Gus Frank put it, "a crippled little rata." No one does that. You don't go to the DEA. Damn. The pirates end up telling Smoker, "Hey, the people that beat Hoity Jones and freed Fishman Island were Mugiwara crew." And Smoker's like, "I know that, idiots." I was like, "Oh, Smoker, he already knew. He fucking knew." He's like, "Oh, Come on, someone's out there taking out other people's pirate crews and saving villages and countries and towns. He already knows who that is. That's why I like. People say, you know, that Kobe is going to be Luffy's Garp, but I think it's Smoker that's going to be Luffy's Garp, and they not only do they fight and they have some epic battles, but they almost have like a respect for one another, because I think Smoker knows that they're not a regular pirate crew, and he knows that there's something different about these people individual. You know, they're not regular. We're just gonna run into your town and ransack you and fuck up all your shit. Anyways, guys, I thought this chapter was awesome. I love Smoker at the end. You know, at the beginning it was kind of slow. It had a lot of ups and downs. You know, we also found out that Pac-Man has a $300 million belly. You know, and that was, like I said, Luffy's way above that. Zoro's way above that. I think even Sanji might be at probably somewhere about 400. Yeah, especially with his hockey. You know, we haven't even seen all those guys go all out yet. So they're definitely way higher than any of their wanted posters say. But anyways, guys, I'm Smoke Raider. That's my thoughts on this video. Comment below, subscribe up top, and I'm out, guys.